Hello everyone, welcome to the another lecture on IoT, which is a very hot topic these days, and IoT stands for Internet of Things. So first of all, we should know what is IoT. So IoT basically aims at forming a network of all the objects that are available, and these objects should be embedded with some software, electronic devices, sensors, so that they can collect the data, this data can be shared, and finally it can be used for making some smart decisions. So IoT is basically aiming these days to connect everything that we have, so that they can, and these things that are connected, these objects that are connected, they must have certain software and electronic devices embedded in them, so that they can collect the data, share the data, and this data can be further processed and used for some welfare. So the main aim of IoT is this. So let's see. The contents for this lecture will be introduction, then the components, then what are the advantages of IoT and why is it needed, applications, and microprocessors versus microcontrollers. So let us see the definition of IoT first of all. As we have discussed just now, that IoT is a network of the all objects that are available, and that is what we are calling things. And they must be embedded with some sensors, software, electronics, network, so that these objects can connect with each other and they can collect and share the data. So this is the IoT. Now one doubt always arises in the minds of learners or the students, that is internet necessary for IoT? See, one thing to tell you, all that device which is capable, I'm not saying which is embedded with internet, but which is capable of getting connected to the internet or sharing its data with other object. Okay, obviously we will share that data in the real time with the help of internet. So internet is the connectivity that is required, and the IoT devices must be compatible with that internet connectivity. But every time internet is necessary, it's not correct. So it's not mandatory that internet should be always necessary, then only it will be called an IoT device. No. An IoT device are all those devices which are capable of sharing and collecting the data. And for sharing, at the time of sharing, they will need internet. But that does not mean that without internet, they are not falling into the category of IoT. So they are still an IoT device. So it's not mandatory for that the internet must be available all the time for IoT. Okay, so please keep that thing in mind. You did not write it anywhere in the exams, but yes, you must know the concept. Now moving forward, how IoT works, and or you can, a very important question might come in the exams, that what are the components of IoT. So there are basically 4 components, and you can remember them very easily by the flow of you can imagine a flow diagram in your mind itself. See, first of all, an IoT device will have sensors and it will collect the data from the surrounding environment. So sensors first of all collect the data. Now this data is sent to the cloud infrastructure, and how it would be sent to the cloud infrastructure, for that you must have some connectivity either through Bluetooth or through Wi-Fi. Then data processing comes into light. That means once the data reaches the cloud infrastructure, there it is processed means it is read, analyzed. Okay, so that is called processing. So data processing is that particular part. And then finally the user interface. That means when the data is now analyzed, now the decisions that are taken, or you can say the information, that this is the thing that we are getting from the sensors, so then the information must be sent to the end user, so that he or she can take some decisions on the basis of that data. So this is a very proper channel through which the data flows, and we can easily remember it. First of all, the sensor will collect the data, it will sense the data, then that data will be sent to the cloud infrastructure, and for that we need connectivity. So the second component is connectivity. The third thing is then data processing will take place, and the fourth thing is that the information will be then sent to the end user. So you can write, you just remember the headings, you just remember the concept, and you can write in your own language. Next comes, why is IoT needed, or what are the advantages of IoT? As we are discussing continuously what is IoT, that means we are collecting the data, then we are sharing the data. So what happens when we share the real-time data? On the basis of real-time data, you can take smart decisions, okay? Companies can have a better resource utilization ratio. That means resources can be utilized properly. Efficiency is improved. It becomes far better than the earlier one. Safety security improves, cost reduces because you don't have to go anywhere to take the data, real-time data. You can take the data anywhere, anytime, any place. Alright, so these are the advantages of IoT. Now applications. Nowadays everywhere IoT is being implemented. Smart city, whether it be smart home, whether it be smart agriculture, whether it be smart industries, okay, medical and healthcare, transportation, home automation, for energy management, for power monitoring, so environment monitoring, you can detect various materials or you can gases in the environment. So everywhere IoT is implemented. So similar are the applications. You can just recall them very easily. Now the last thing that comes is microprocessors versus microcontrollers. Microprocessors and microcontrollers play a very important role in IoT, and that is why we are having this topic in this slide, that is IoT presentation, PPT. So a microprocessor and microcontroller, what role does they have? In this slide, we have the role of microprocessor and microcontroller in IoT. You can just go through it. See, there are two devices in IoT, that are sensors and actuators. Sensors, what is the function of sensor? It senses some physical condition, and on the basis of that condition, it generates a signal. On the basis of that signal, what decision or what effect has to be taken? Okay, that is the function of actuator. I'll give you an example. For example, you have smart washing machines, automatic washing machines in your home. Now, on the basis of the weight of the clothes, level of the clothes, the sensor detects the level of the water up to which it has to be filled. Okay, so sensor, what does the sensor do? Sensor has sensed that the clothes are put into the washing machine up to a certain level, and up to this level sensor has sensed only the level, and it has given the information to the actuator. Now actuator decides that now I have to fill the water level up to this particular level. So actuator will start releasing the water, and it will stop releasing it up when the water is filled up to that level. So actuator, what is actuator? It converts the signal given by the sensor into a physical effect. That means water filling. Okay, so that was a physical effect, and it was done by actuator. And sensor function is to sense the physical condition and convert it into a signal. So sensor senses the physical condition and converts it into a signal, and actuator converts that signal into a physical effect. Okay, so these are the two important points, or you can say two important keywords of IoT. So the same is written in these slides as well. You can just go through it. And now here comes the function of microprocessors and microcontrollers, because these signals are generated with the help of microprocessors and microcontrollers. So microprocessor, I'll explain you in very short. You all must be having desktops in your home, or you must have seen them in your schools and all. So there it was a CPU, okay, central processing unit. All the processing of the data is done over there. So that is the processor. Microprocessor only is the CPU. Okay, it does not have any memory, it does not have any input output device embedded in it. If you want to connect some RAM, ROM or input output devices, peripherals, then you have to externally add it. Okay, so microprocessor is an IC which only has the CPU inside it. Okay, like you have P1, P4, P2, P3, P4 processors. Nowadays it is i3, i4, i5, i7, i10. So these are only the processors. They don't have any memory inbuilt in them. They don't have any other peripheral inbuilt in them. But microcontroller is an IC which has CPU inbuilt on it, memory inbuilt on it, and it has certain other peripherals also inbuilt on it. Okay, so microcontroller is CPU plus memory plus other peripherals which are embedded on a single chip. But microprocessor is a single device, it's a standalone device, only a processor device, and if you want to have memory and peripherals, then you have to add it externally. Okay, so this is the only difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. I hope that you must have got an overview of IoT. Components of IoT is a very important question, it might come in the exams. Then you must have a concept of the difference between microprocessors and microcontrollers, advantages of IoT and applications of IoT. So if you like my video, just like, subscribe my channel, and thank you all.